The Chinese spy balloon story is ballooning out of control. Republican lawmakers on Sunday accused China of deliberately surveilling sensitive United States military sites with a suspected spy balloon and said that President Biden's administration had given Beijing an intelligence opening by not downing the balloon during its high altitude drift throughout American airspace. The balloon's presence in the sky above the United States before a military jet shot it down over top the Atlantic Ocean with a missile on Saturday has further strained U.S. China relations. America's top diplomat abruptly scrapped a trip to Beijing, and China's defense ministry said in a statement after the balloon fell into the waters off the coast of Carolina that it, quote, reserves the right to take necessary measures to deal with similar situations. Quote, clearly, this was an attempt by China to gather information, to defeat our command and control of our sensitive missile defense and nuclear weapon sites, said the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Representative Mike Turner, who is a Republican of Ohio. Among the members of Congress who was on the Sunday news shows talking about the balloon. Quote, and that certainly is an urgency that this administration does not recognize, Turner said. The United States defense and military officials said the balloon had entered the U.S. air defense zone north of the Aleutian Islands back on January the 28th and moved largely overland across Alaska and then into Canadian airspace in the Northwest Territories on Monday. It crossed back into United States territory over northern Idaho on Tuesday. That's the day the White House said that President Joe Biden was first briefed on it. Quote, it defies belief to suggest there was nowhere between Alaska and the Carolinas where the U.S. could have safely shot down the balloon, said the Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. The Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, a Democrat from New York, said the full Senate will get a briefing next week regarding the balloon, including details about its surveillance capabilities, and that the administration is considering measures against the Chinese for, quote, their brazen activities. Schumer said the GOP criticism was political and premature, and that the United States had, quote, sent a clear message to China that this is not acceptable. President Biden issued the shoot-down order but had wanted it to happen earlier on Wednesday. He was advised that the best time for the operation would be when it was over water, United States officials have said. Military officials determined that bringing down the balloon over land from an altitude of 60,000 feet would pose an undue risk to people on the ground.